Hello everyone, good evening, and welcome to Nick Nat Packer, live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, with my video log for Vampire Diaries, Season 4, Episode 3, The Ringer. Excuse me if you think I'm talking a little too loud. I'm doing it because the microphone from my camera doesn't pick up sound very well, so I have to talk louder than I normally would in order for this to sound clear. Fortunately, this time I didn't have to keep a blog log. I mean, the episode was very good, but there wasn't so much going on like in episode 2 where I felt that I needed to jot all my thoughts down. So let's just get right to it then. The episode opens up in the hospital. Tyler's there recovering, quote, quote, from his attack. Obviously, we all know that he's fine, but he's going through the motions so that the town won't suspect that he's other than human. He's asleep or pretending to be asleep, whatever. Connor Jordan shows up, having figured out that he's there. And it seems like Connor Jordan is there to kill him, but in reality, he somehow manages to get the drop on Tyler, even though Tyler sort of attacked him. He gets the drop on Tyler and injects him with a paralytic. I didn't know that stuff like that could work on vampires, but apparently it can. And it incapacitates him long enough for Connor to stick a syringe in Tyler's mouth, or wherever the gland is that secretes the werewolf venom, and take a sample, which is not good for the vampire community because that stuff is lethal. But obviously Connor knows this, so this is his ace in the hole, as it were. It's his insurance policy. While this is going on, as usual, because when is there an episode where this doesn't happen? Damon and Stefan are arguing, but this time it's not over Elena and her feeding habits. It's not really an argument. It's more like Damon chastising and Stefan just kind of, whatever, Damon. Stefan is packing to leave for a couple days, and Damon wants to know where he's going, and Stefan tells him, I'm taking Elena with me on a road trip. We're going to go on the motorcycle, and we're just going to get away for a little while and try to have some fun. She's been through so much stress and so much pain and heartbreak, and the transition is not going as well as we would like for her, and she's been having a rough time, so I want to do something for her and make her feel better, take her mind off of things. I don't know about y'all, but I thought that the road trip thing was kind of a Damon and Elena thing. But we'll see how it goes. And Damon's kind of giving him shit for it, because I think even Damon's heart of hearts, he knows that the road trip thing is their shtick, it's their deal, it's what they do. Give me 5 seconds, away from all the stress. Somehow, I just don't think that Stefan and her could pull it off. So he packs his things, and then he's going to meet Elena at school because for her, no matter what's going on around her, she wants to try as hard as she can to be as normal as she possibly can, and that includes going to school. It's a good thing she's got a lot of friends, a lot of super powered friends, because she's gonna need them. She's not too good around people at this point. She's kind of okay, but if she even scents blood, I mean, there's no telling what she's going to do. Scene switches to the high school, and Elena's already there with Matt in their makeout spot, as Matt fondly refers to it. And ironically enough, this is where she's chosen to feed off them, because it's behind the school where nobody hangs out, so nobody will see them. And she needs to feed off of him, and she does. And I can't tell whether it's a good experience for Matt or if he's just kind of. I understand why he's doing this. He feels guilty for what happened to her, and he feels like he owes her in some way, and this is his way of paying that back. But it's like he's stuck in the middle of some place that he can't get out of. It's like, I don't think he enjoys being fed off of. I think he just kind of lets her do what she needs to because he feels like he's obligated. And I know that she doesn't like it. It's fairly obvious from the look on both of their faces after the deed is done. She didn't want to have to do that, but she can't keep anything down other than blood from the vein. So they're all walking to school together, Caroline, Bonnie there, and they're trying to be as normal as possible, and first class that they happen to walk into is, guess what? Alaric's history class. And it creates kind of a tense moment for them because it's the first time they've actually been back in the classroom since Alaric's death, and they're still kind of hurting over that. They were close to him, and he meant something to all of them, and the place is that room is a place that's filled with memories. So while she's involved in that and trying to keep her, she's having a hard time because she's sad because of her memories of Alaric, and then she's frustrated because of her feeding problems, and then Rebecca walks into the room like Miss Thing on steroids. I'm on top of the world queen bitch, and decides to say, hey, I'm going to throw a curfew party. Oh yeah, by the way, because the hunter is running rampant through town and causing a ruckus, and because he obviously shot somebody in the middle of a crowded church, Sheriff Forbes, in conjunction with Mayor Lockwood, has instituted a mandatory curfew for all the high schoolers. Well, pretty much everybody. So Rebecca decides to hold an anti-curfew party in her new house. Let's not forget that when Klaus kicked her the fuck out, well, actually, Klaus didn't kick her out. She left, and then she burnt down his house out of some form of rebellion because she was pissed off that he told her that she was worth shit to him. And then he went and broke her neck. So she got kind of pissed, and she burnt down his house and bought a new one. And she decides the first thing she's going to have to do is have a curfew party. So,
Shutting my computer.
of course, Rebecca wastes absolutely no time in using the pithy remarks to make Elena more pissed off than she already is. And obviously, we all know what Rebecca's motive is. It's the fact that Rebecca knows that Elena can't control her emotions, and she's trying to set her off, push buttons. It's the one thing that Rebecca knows how to do really well. It's the only thing Rebecca knows how to do really well. And she does succeed. She manages to push Elena's buttons so much that Elena grabs a pencil off her desk and tries to impale her with it. But Rebecca, being Rebecca, or the original, faster, more powerful, she grabs the pencil first and shoves it back into Elena's shoulder. Yeah, kind of not a good idea to sit in the classroom when you have a pencil stuck in your shoulder and you're bleeding. So Elena has to rush out and go into the bathroom and clean up. And while she's in there, a random female student shows up. Hi, Elena. Is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Well, that's good, because I don't think I'm so fine. And when you look a little closer at her, she's got blood dripping down her neck. Uh-oh. And Elena immediately zeroes in on the blood, and there's this tense moment where you're like, oh God, she's going to kill somebody.
Exactly.
Rebecca joins them in the bathroom and says, oh, I thought I'd bring you a snack. Knowing that, you can't control your actions because you're so new, so why don't you kill somebody? Make yourself feel better. And she proceeds to do probably the most disgusting thing ever. She wipes the girl's blood off her neck and wipes it all down Elena's face. I don't know about you, but that just tells me that Rebecca is completely immature heifer. She feels so bad about herself that she needs to make everyone else feel more miserable than she is. Just so because she thinks it'll make her feel better. So Elena manages to duck out of there without attacking anybody, and she runs into Matt and Caroline, and they happen to notice that Jeremy is talking to Connor Jordan. They don't know why he's at the school. They just know that he's attached himself to Jeremy. The conversation that they have, Connor Jordan thinks that Jeremy would be a good protege as a possible hunter, alluding to the fact that Jeremy was able to see his tattoo when nobody else could. Apparently, the tattoo, which Connor calls a hunter's mark, can only be seen by hunters or prospective hunters. So there is a point towards Jeremy in that direction that he may become some future hunter at some point. But because his sister and many of his friends are vampires and or supernatural creatures, you know he's not just going to give him up like that. Connor Jordan tells Jeremy that if he wants to get in on the action, meet him at such and such address, which is the trailer, obviously, and bring a vampire with you. Obviously, as proof that he can do the job. Jeremy obviously is not going to give up his sister, and he goes and tells Damon Connor Jordan's address. At the same time, Connor Jordan tracks down Matt because he believes that Matt knows more than he's telling him. He doesn't buy Matt's thing about the band-aid on his neck. Oh, kinky girlfriend. No, he's pretty sure that Matt's been letting somebody feed off, and he's going to find out who the vampires are there. So he tries to attack Matt. It slips my mind at this point how Connor Jordan was stopped from. Yeah, Matt told him that he knew of a vampire. I didn't think Matt was going to give in like that, but he surprised me. Instead of giving up everybody else, he gave up Rebecca. It's understandable. He hates her after what she's done and what she's put everyone through, especially Elena and Matt himself. So he tells her he knows where there's going to be a bunch of vampires.
I thought you were taking the stuff out of the closet.